Police say that Garth Rector was close to more than one woman in his last days, and none closer than the woman who literally lived across the yard and was the first to discover his lifeless body in the kitchen hours after his murder.
They were in a relationship. He was actually renting the house he was living in off of her. Their houses were 200 feet apart. She went over to visit him, located him on the floor, ran out of the house, called 911.
But Corporal Kurt Walther says the close relationship between Garth and his landlady could be a big source of trouble in the form of her ex-fiancé.
She had recently broke up with a boyfriend, a long-term boyfriend. They were engaged at the time. He was an older gentleman. Sounds like he took it pretty rough.
What's more, he knows his way around Garth's house too.
We had a subject that had some motive, had the opportunity. He'd been in the house before. If his DNA shows up in the house, it's nothing new. He actually replaced some windows in the house.
And he carries more than just a hammer.
The person is an avid gun collector. This gentleman never misses work. He missed work that day. His alibi was not concrete at all.
Walther says the man in question took a voice stress test analysis and was asked to follow up with a polygraph, but has refused.
This person was very much a person of interest. He's still a person of interest.
But hold on. It turns out this handsome, recently separated wrestling coach had another love interest, leading to yet another person of interest. A woman who worked with Garth at the university. A married woman with a husband who police have been giving a close look, but who also isn't talking.
During the investigation, we did attempt to polygraph one of those subjects, and he would not return calls.
Police are tight with the information and providing no names or images of the individuals in the investigation. But Walther says there's a short list of persons of interest who are climbing up.
Some people needed polygraph, and I would like to still bring them in and polygraph them. A few of them have dodged my phone calls. It does raise your suspicion, and that is one of the reasons this is still an open case.
And if that's not enough to make an investigator's head spin, consider this. Cops also say the killing may have had absolutely nothing to do with Garth's extracurricular love life.
Basically, we did receive a tip here recently, within the last 6 months, that would put the scenario more back to a burglary case. It's definitely not unusual for a daylight burglary, especially in the country. It happens quite often when people just go up and knock on the door. They'll see if someone's home, they'll walk around the back, kick the door in, go in the house.
The troubling thing about the robbery theory, police say nothing was taken from the house. In fact, they found hundreds of dollars still in Garth's pocket. But cops claim the killer could have panicked when Garth walked into the kitchen, fired the shots, and ran off without taking anything.
He's a pretty stout guy, pretty stocky, ex-wrestler. He comes home, confronts somebody in the house. They're armed. The only way out of the house is through him. That's why we're thinking maybe someone actually shot him to get out of the house, because there's no way out of the house but through where Garth was at.
And at least one witness reports unusual behavior at the house around the time of the murder.
This happened right at the time when schools were letting out, and there's buses going down the road. They were getting ready to get off the bus. The bus had to hit the brakes because the vehicle was backing out at a high rate of speed out of the driveway.
Police may be giving more attention to the attempted robbery scenario at the moment, but to some, like family spokesperson Angela, the motive and the suspicions are clear.
There are some other leads out there that have come forward that it could have been a botched robbery. And they're going to have to prove that to me before me to get it out of my head that it wasn't an upset, jealous husband.
And no one would like the truth more than Angie Sue Rector, Garth's estranged wife, who agreed to speak with Crime Watch Daily to plead for information.
Have it in your heart and know what's right and do what's right for in your own self as well as ours to come forward. You'll be protected.
At the time of his murder, Angie Sue was reportedly trying to reconcile with Garth, and she is all in on the effort to find his killer, keeping the case alive by raising a cash reward for any information leading to a conviction.
At the first Garth Fest, we raised $10,000, and it still stands to this day that we have that out there for information leading to the arrest of the person that killed Garth.
Who did kill Garth Rector? Cops are still entertaining both theories. a botched robbery, and a possible series of tangled love stories. But now, cops and family members need someone to come forward with more information about who committed this vicious murder, so the killer can be held accountable.
If I could see Garth's killer face to face, I would just love to ask them why. Why would you do this? Was she worth it?
They took away that person, the person that walks me down the aisle, that will be the grandfather to my children. They took it all away.